Psalm 103, verse 19 tells us God's sovereignty rules the cosmos. Psalm 103:19, the Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his sovereignty rules over all. For the faithful in Israel, he has secured the contentment of his peculiar people by both promise and covenant. However, the doctrine of eternal providence has been laid down for all of humanity and the world in general as a witness to God's sovereignty. We read in Romans chapter 1 and verses 19 to 20, since what can be known about God is evident among them because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, that is, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen since the creation of the world, being understood through what he has made. As a result, people are without excuse. Even though God's throne is in heaven, yet his kingdom rules over the entire earth. He is cognizant of all of the affairs of this world and marshals all persons and things according to the direction of his will, for his own glory. God is working out his plan for all eternity, therefore his kingdom rules over all other kings and kingdoms, and because of his sovereignty, there are none who are exempt from his justice. We read in Daniel 4:34-35, but at the end of those days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, looked up to heaven, and my sanity returned to me. Then I praised the Most High and honored and glorified him who lives forever, for his dominion is an everlasting dominion and his kingdom is from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are counted as nothing, and he does what he wants with the army of heaven and the inhabitants of the earth. There is no one who can hold back his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" Our understanding of this biblical doctrine is confirmed in Psalm 11 verses 4-7, God has always ruled over all things. The Lord is in his holy temple, the Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes watch, he examines everyone. The Lord examines the righteous and the wicked. He hates the lover of violence. He will rain burning coals and sulfur on the wicked, a scorching wind will be their portion. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteous deeds. The upright will see his face. Psalm 47 backs this up, beginning in verse 1-8, clap your hands, all you peoples, for Yahweh the Most High is awe-inspiring, a great king over all the earth. He subdues peoples under us and nations under our feet. God is king of all the earth. God reigns over the nations, God is the mediator between his garden kingdom on earth and all that he has created. He reigns over all creation, patiently waiting for his creation to mature and be transformed into eternal entities. Those whose names remain in the Lamb's Book of Life will colonize his universal kingdom, along with the legions of angels. He stretches his scepter over the galaxies and solar systems of space. His superiority is that of a universal monarch, and he is the sole potentate, the King of kings and Lord of lords. His sovereignty is not derived by birth or commission, he is the only cause of his kingdom, his authority, therefore, is unhampered and is as infinite as his nature. No one can set laws over him. God is neither astonished nor surprised by the characteristics of events on this planet. They remain in the subjective control of the prince of the dark domain, coupled with the carnal, free-willed nature of God's human creation, and are allowed to continue by God's sovereign will. God is still using Satan as a tool to divide and separate for himself a people with whom he desires to share the new heaven and the new earth. There will come a day when he will judge this earth and all of those whose names have not remained in the Lamb's Book of Life. The separation is confirmed in Revelation 21. The scene is identified in verses 1 and 2, Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea no longer existed. I also saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. The holy citizenry of the New Jerusalem is identified in verses 26-27. They will bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. Nothing profane will ever enter it, no one who does what is vile or false, but only those written in the Lamb's Book of Life. The psalmist, having shared the varied attributes of the Lord as are seen in nature through grace and providence, he now musters all of his final praise into one final outburst of adoration, in which he would have all who are subjects of the great king to come together and praise him.